Hello and welcome to the Team DSI Advanced Leadership Webinar. My name is Jared Krebs. I'm pictured here with my wife, Crystal. We're Emerald Directors, co-founders of Team DSI, and I want to acknowledge you for being one of our advanced leaders. Not everybody gets invited to this call because not everybody plans their work and works their plan. Not everybody does their weekly action plan or knows their points or knows exactly what's going on in their business, but you do. And since you do, we want to give you extra training. We want to sow extra support, and we want to work with you very, very closely because you are the best of the best in Team DSI and in USANA. Very few people take their business as serious as you do. And so before we get started with today's special guest, I want you to always remember that amateurs sell products, professionals sell the vision. Always make sure that you're sharing everything that USANA provides, not just the products, but the lifestyle, the finances, the community, and of course the products, the health, everything. And that is what's going to build your team. I'm super proud of you for everything you're doing. And now we're going to get right into the training. Today's special guest is Ruby Director Eric Martindale, who's currently out of Denver, Colorado. I first met Eric, I think it was 2 years ago at one of the USANA XRCs. And I was so impressed by his knowledge of network marketing and how much he has studied the industry. And when he got in USANA, he grew really fast. Within, I think, his second year, he became gold. Within his third year, he was a Ruby director, and he's very established. He's actually spoken on the international convention stages, all the biggest stages of USANA. Eric has been there. And what I love about him is that he's just a really open, caring, awesome person. Very high energy. Eric, thank you for being on our call today. Thank you for sewing into our team, even though we're not in your particular legs. We really appreciate that you're taking the time to sew into our best leaders. Cannot wait to hear your story. We want to hear it all, man. What was your life like before USANA? What was your life like, during, after, since you've been successful? Also, what have been the biggest challenges? Take us through your story, man. You have the floor. Welcome to the call.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Jared. I appreciate it. That's a great introductory right there. So, so I'm in Denver, Colorado. I'm born and raised in Wisconsin. I went to college in Wisconsin. I then went to grad school. And the route that I was taking prior to USANA was I was personal training, and then I got into strength and conditioning. So I was working with athletes. And my dream job that I thought I wanted to do was train professional athletes or Division I athletes. And so I was going along that career path. Like I said, I got my master's degree. I got several certifications. I've worked with over 1,500 athletes, ranging from, Division III to Division I, professional, Olympic, in any sport that you can imagine. So it was a lot of fun. When I got done with grad school, though, and finished up, just like my work and working with some of the different colleges I worked at, I was like, I saw like a vision of like the next 40 years, because you are very overworked and underpaid in that profession, as many professions nowadays. And so I was like, I just don't have any free time, and I have hobbies, and like, I want to live my life and do things that I enjoy and not just be stuck in a gym. To give you a glimpse, my first week working at the Division I level, I was at the University of Louisville, Kentucky. So it's Louisville, not Louisville, is what I learned living there. And to give you a glimpse, I woke up at 4 a.m. I stuffed breakfast in my face, and rode my bike 30 minutes to get to the gym. We started our days at 5 a.m., and we completed them at 7 p.m. I then rode my bike back home. There was a 30-minute bike ride. I enjoy and function my best off of 8 hours of sleep. So I'd be in bed by 8 p.m. So I'm like, okay, I got a 30-minute window in the morning and 30-minute window at night of free time, and the rest, and that's just, showering and eating is essentially what that free time was. I'm like, man, this is not going to be a fun, 40-year career doing this. So after grad school, I went out to Maine I knew no one. I had no job lined up, and I was like, looks like a great place to live. So essentially, what I did after grad school, as most of my most of the people in the grad program with me, they're looking for career opportunities and sending out lots of applications. I was doing none of that. What happened after grad school was I would work for 6 months in Maine doing landscaping, carpentry, personal training, and then I would travel for 6 months. So work hard for 6 months, travel for 6 months. And I did that for 2 years. And that was awesome. I did my first international trip to South America during that time period. Spent a lot of time in Hawaii, the Florida Keys, lots of great places. I've been everywhere in the United States, basically. But I was like, man, I still feel like a hamster on a wheel. Like the traveling 6 months part is awesome, but the working 6 months straight and not really having life at all, that's not that fun. So I was trying to like, how do I do this? And that's when one of my mom's friends, her name's Deb Ott, she introduced me to USANA. And at the time, I had hair down to my shoulders. I was just a guy, with a master's degree, but I was living out of my tent essentially and climbing all around the country. And so I didn't look the part. I sometimes show photos, like when I do some speaking at events, I'll be like, this is what I look like when I first started my USANA career here. So I was told about USANA right before going to South America. And I was like, this sounds awesome, but I'm not starting a business right before I'm, traveling internationally for, 5 months. So right when I got back from South America, signed up. May 7th, 2012 is when I partnered with USANA. And I think people look at USANA a couple different ways, because there's lots of different reasons to join and partner with USANA. But right away, I saw it as, this is my career path. Like, I have unlimited earning potential. I can be my own boss. I'm passionate about health. I can run this business from anywhere on earth. This seems like the way to go. So my approach was, I want to get this to full-time income as quickly as possible. And it didn't happen as fast as I wanted it to. My first 18 months, I struggled. I went to all the events. I went to international conventions and XRCs and local events in Chicago. I read all the books. I listened to more audio than a lot of people. And I was pretty frustrated. I was stuck at that builder level for a long time. But then what happened was we had an event in Chicago, and I just was like, Jim Rohn uses the word disgust, and it's a pretty strong, powerful word. So some people don't like that word. My mentor, Dr. Steve Hershek, who's a diamond director in USANA, he likes to call it, you have a healthy dissatisfaction with your life, and that's okay. So that's what I had. I had a healthy dissatisfaction that I still had student loan debt. I hated the car I drove. I was just constantly stressed financially. There's a lot of things that I wasn't happy with in my life. So I kind of turned a switch on, and I went builder to gold in 3.5 months. And so right at the 2-year mark in USANA is when I completed my gold run. So it did take me about 2 years to get to what I would consider like full-time income, something that I could live off of. And then my 3rd year in USANA, I hit the rank of Ruby. I'm 5 years into USANA now, so I've had a bit of a plateau, but it's a long journey. I see myself, I'm going to be with USANA till I die. And a lot of times, I'm 31 years old, so a lot of times, actually I shouldn't even say younger people, pretty much all of us want things now. We want immediate gratification. And you really have to clean your brain of that mentality, because this is a business. And one of the easiest ways to kind of get rid of that old programming is the time is going to pass regardless. And what I mean by that is, when Dr. Steve sat me down, I just turned 26 years old, and he said, Eric, the top industry leaders, Robert Kiyosaki and many other people who speak on behalf of network marketing, they say it's a 5 to 10 year journey. You got to commit 5 to 10 years, and if you don't, you can't really expect much out of it. And at the time I was like, oh man, that's a long time. But what really cemented it and made it easy for me to start thinking more long term was the time's going to pass regardless, Eric. 5 to 10 years from now, you're going to be 31 to 36 years old, whether you're building USANA business or still building homes, doing carpentry, personal training, and doing what you're doing now. If you enjoy that life of what you have right now, keep doing what you're doing. But if you want things to change and be different, you got to do some things different. So it makes it very easy. Like 10 years from now, I'm going to be 41 years old, whether I'm still consistently building my USANA business or not. Why not put consistent effort and energy into something that can give me complete freedom and options and opportunities and the ability to give back? So that's kind of how that was probably the switch where I'm like, all right, I'm not in this just for let's get quick and then, hit the road. I'm committed to this like a marriage essentially with USANA. So that's kind of in short, what my USANA journey has been like. There's been lots of challenges, lots of struggles, lots of highs and lots of lows. I can remember when I won my first growth trip. I won the trip to Success on the Beach in Mexico. And I was like, I worked literally, so we have a 52-week calendar year, and USANA's fiscal year goes July to July. And to win growth trips, you got to have at least 16,000 growth from the previous year. I had 15,000 growth in the last 3 months of that fiscal year. Everything happened. I'm like, man, what if I actually put in some work like the previous 9 months prior to that? In the 3-month time period, I hit gold. I won the Leadership Summit trip, which is when you're, making at least $600 a week. And then I won the growth trip all in 3 months. I'm like, boom, that was a great run there. So yeah, there's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be teammates quitting, there's going to be heartbreak, there's going to be lots of things going on. But one of the biggest things that you got to do is stay focused and then become a creature of these habits. And forming good habits like personal development and regularly attending events and being on calls like this, it all helps you stay engaged. If you don't stay engaged, it's very easy for USANA to be swept under the rug. And I think the biggest things that's going to keep you engaged is your why. Why are you even doing USANA? And my mentor, Dr. Steve, he pounded that so hard. And he's like, have you written out your why yet? I'm like, no, I got it in my head. I don't need to write it down, dude. And he's like, it's not real till you write it down. And he's right. Words and ideas in your brain are just that. They're ideas. But when you commit them to paper, I don't even like digitally, like putting things on my phone or on my laptop. That's great. But I believe when you hand write something, you are making a statement and it becomes real. It's not just like a dream or some idea you have in your brain. So getting laser focused on your why, having dreams. Like if I were to ask you if time and money weren't an issue, what would you be doing right now? That's a great way to spark the ideas in your brain of where you want to go. For me, one of the big dreams I have is traveling. I've been to 26 countries now on 4 different continents, and I can't do that without the USANA residual income. So that's one of my greatest motivators. And so that's called touching your dream as well. Every time I travel, I touch my dream a little bit, and it reminds me of why I'm working so hard and why I'm building my business. So I can, see all the beauty around us, experience new cultures, learn new languages, and it just gives me a great appreciation, particularly when I go to third world countries, how good we really have it here in the U.S. So it makes me actually want to work harder. That way I have a surplus of income to donate and give back more as well. So yeah, I would say that's the biggest thing. I use the analogy a lot. USANA is like a Ferrari. We do have the best products on planet Earth, and we can get out factually how USANA's products are far superior. So that USANA is a Ferrari, But the fuel for your vehicle is your why and your dreams. That's what's going to motivate you. So if you have a Ferrari and the gas tank's empty, where are you going? Nowhere. It's just going to sit there and look shiny and bright and cute, and you can take photos with that Ferrari, but you are not going anywhere. But you have to put fuel in the tank, and the fuel in the tank of your Ferrari, of your USANA business, is your why and your dreams. If you don't have dreams, if you don't have, something to look forward to in the future, of something to work towards, it's just going through the motions. So I encourage everyone to, think about what you want to do with your life. We're on this earth for a relatively short period of time. And we have a lot of opportunities, though, in the day and age that we live in. So think of the wildest dreams, the bigger the better. And then you set goals in place to work towards those dreams. You got to get focused on that. Otherwise, learning skills of how to invite and how to prospect and how to close and how to do all those things, they don't mean anything because you don't even know why you're doing those. So I would say do that when you're seriously focused and you know exactly what your why is and what your dreams are. Then you don't need anyone else to motivate you. You become internally motivated. So that's really a part of being an entrepreneur as well. You don't have a boss telling you what to do. Thankfully, you guys have great leader like Jared. I've learned a lot from him. When I first met him as well, it was an event. I was like, who is this guy? I'm like, he's winning all these awards. I'm like, dang, I thought I was winning a lot. This dude is racking them up. I got to get around this guy. So you guys have great leaders, but don't live in Jared's shadow is what I would tell you as well. And what I mean by that is become your own leader. Build your own team. You are all building your own downlines. Yes, you have access to a great, accomplished leader like Jared, but I wouldn't even consider yourself a part of Jared's team. What I mean by that is you have to visually recognize you are building your own team and your own organization and business. And Jared's there for support and help, but he's not going to build your business for you. So when you take complete responsibility and ownership like that, your business will go through the roof. Now, what that doesn't mean, though, is don't utilize Jared. What really helped me jump from builder to gold very quickly was setting up three-way calls with Dr. Steve Hershak. Who do you think my friends want to talk to more? A guy who is making $200 a week as a builder, or a diamond director who's making $4,000 to $5,000 a week? Answer's pretty obvious. The same question would be to you. Who would your prospects want to talk to more? You, I don't know what levels you guys are at, or Jared, who's been in USANA longer than 10 years. He's won a ton of awards. He's got a great income with USANA. Edifying your upline is an art. And it's an art that's going to pay you very well. And it's also how you learn the skills very fast. So you can compress everything you're doing in your business into a shorter period of time. Like I would do no less than 5 three-way calls a week with Dr. Steve Hershak. And I would sign up one teammate a week. And that was just the normal. And I did that for 2 to 3 months straight. And he's like, dude, you're like really making me work here. I'm like, yeah. You told me any amount of three-way calls you were going to do for me, dude. So that would be one of the biggest things. If you're questioning like, man, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do. Not many things will grow your business faster than three-way calls with Jared. There's not many other things because it's just going to bring a lot of social proof. And also what it's doing in the mind of your prospect is if they're thinking, this USANA thing sounds kind of cool. I think I actually am thinking about possibly joining this team here. If they do a three-way call with you and Jared, here's what's going on in their mind. Well, if I sign up, I actually then get to do these three-way calls with Jared too. And that would make it easy for me because I'm brand new and I don't know that much about USANA yet. But if I had access to someone like Jared, man, he could do a lot of the work and I could learn really quick by doing three-way calls with him. Boom. That's duplication right there. So I usually encourage every team to do that because I've just seen in fast-growing organizations in USANA and outside of USANA, three-way calls and bringing in an expert is one of the fastest ways to grow. We are going to get to Q&A. If you got questions, you can type them. I know it's 11:20, so Jared said we'd have about 10 minutes of Q&A. Otherwise, I can just keep yapping too here. So whatever you want to do, Jared.
Eric, this is awesome. Love everything you've said, man.
I don't know if I took a breath those last 20 minutes.
Bro, that's why USANA has you speak at so many events, bro. I love it. Yes, we do have questions, and I want to start with Top Silver Director Renee Martinez. He texted me. He had some questions. Are you there, Renee? I know he's on the phone. Yeah, he should be there. Maybe not. Unmuted. He's unmuted. Okay. All right. So while he's figuring out his audio, does anyone else have a question?
Fire away, guys.
Well, there's one from Denise.
Let's unmute Denise Garcia, Dad, please.
Yeah, it says,
right.
Denise says, what did you do to sign up at least one associate a week? So three-way calls were one of the things, but let me distill network marketing down into one concept that will never change. Network marketing started in 1954 with Amway, and this concept applied then, and it's going to apply into Affinity. And that is, it's a numbers game. People aren't numbers, but network marketing is a numbers game, meaning the more people you talk to, the more people you'll be able to sign up. And so there's always going to be a certain amount of people who are like, yeah, that sounds great. And a lot of people, no, I have no interest at all. Or this sounds great, but now's not the right time. So really, if we took the numbers, let's say you are going to sign up 1 out of 10 people you talk to. The goal should be, let's say you want 10 new teammates or 10 new customers. The goal would be, how fast can you talk to 100 people? Get creative. Would it be phone calls, face-to-face, doing a webinar, any home events? There's lots of different ways to communicate USANA, sending out the videos. So it's always going to be a numbers game, and you always want to edify an expert. So Jared would never get upset with you loading him up with 3, 4, 5 three-way calls a week. I promise you. That is a leader's dream, is like, I wish I could do 20 three-way calls a day. Because if I did that, my teammates' businesses would be going through the roof, and so would mine. So yeah, you just got to get rid of the emotion and the attachment of, oh, I wonder what this person's going to do. Prejudge no one. You stop prejudging. You tell everyone the USANA story. You can be a customer. You can be a teammate. Here's how it works. And let them decide. If now's not the right time, great. Next. Go to the next person. And you can get back with that person 3 to 6 months from now. So that would be, any concept will boil down to, how many people are you talking to about USANA on a weekly basis? Whether it's on the phone, in person, on a webinar, any method that you use. Do you measure that one metric? How many people do I talk to about USANA per week? And that number's going up, your business will grow. It has to. There's no way it can't. So.
Beautiful. She says, thanks, Eric.
Welcome.
Awesome. All right, Renee Martinez, the floor is yours.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Hey, Renee. Yeah, we can hear you.
Hey, Eric. First of all, I want to tell you thank you for being so awesome. I love following you on Facebook, all the great and motivating posts that you're always posting. And my question is, you said that you were a builder for a long time, almost 2 years.
Yep.
What is one of the worst moments that you had in that 2 years that would make the normal person quit?
Good question. Temptations are around every corner, and they'll never stop no matter how successful you are. I've seen 5-star diamonds in USANA switch companies. So, yeah, probably the frequent temptations of friends prospecting me to other companies and tempting me with their bonuses. One of the biggest temptations was a company called Nerium. And one of my mom's friends, she's driving around in the Mercedes Benz, and she's like, you sponsor 3, you help those 3 get 3, you're driving in a Mercedes Benz. And this is when I was still driving a 2003 Kia Rio. That thing broke down on me so many times. And I was making about $200 a week in USANA. And I was very, very tempted to just pull the plug on USANA. I'm like, I hate this car. That was one of the biggest things. I was like, dude, I could be driving in a Mercedes Benz next month. Like, that'd be so simple. But you got to stand your ground. You got to remember, why did you sign up for USANA in the first place? Was it for a Mercedes Benz? Probably not. It was probably because of the products, the community, and your upline, the person who prospected you. So, you got to stay strong. You got to just stay really focused. That's why it's so important of knowing your dreams and your why and constantly reminding yourself of that. I think that's going to be a big test. That is the test of all network marketers, is when another person from another company prospects you, and when you hold your ground, you dig your roots a little bit deeper in your USANA business. So I cannot do. Just 2 weeks ago, some guy from Amway is setting up a call and trying to prospect me, and I'm like, you don't know who you're talking to, man. So I was like, I'm not leaving USANA, but thanks for everything you said. So they don't stop. The temptations won't stop. Just no matter how well you're doing, you can be a diamond director and someone's gonna be like, yeah, but dude, you could be making so much more if you were with our company. So you got to stand your ground. You got to remember long-term gratification. I know USANA is going to be around 20, 30, 50 years from now. And unless a freak accident happens, I plan to still be alive and building with that same company. So that's, I'd say that's the biggest thing.
Wow, that's an awesome answer. And I just have one more question. You said that you were real big on audios. And what's your favorite audio that you would recommend to everybody listening?
That's a great question, Renee. Man, there's so many. My favorite one, I really love Jim Rohn. I'd say the most ultra classic network marketing CD is called Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn. But everyone knows him for that. He probably has 6 other audios. The Power of Ambition is one, and most of them are like 8-hour-long segments. So I like Jim Rohn. I really like Brian Tracy as well. What I do is you can take YouTube videos and convert them to audio. And it's legal because anything on YouTube is free and open to the internet to use. So what I mean by that is if Joan did a lecture and it's an hour and a half long, you could take that video, convert it to an audio, and now listen to it on your phone or while you're driving. So that's how I get a lot of my audio books, is just convert what's free and what we have access to on YouTube, turn it into an audio file. And you really can't go wrong with Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins, Brian Tracy, Zig Ziglar. Those are some of the granddaddies of them all in the personal development world. But if I had to narrow it down to one CD, I'd just say Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn.
Awesome. Hey, and I wanna thank you so much for being on our Advanced Leadership webinar, man. I really appreciate it. I know everybody else appreciates it also. And look forward to meeting you in convention.
Renee, I'll be there. I'll see you guys next week for sure. I think we got you too, brother.
You have a good day.
We got like 1 minute left. So if
last question. Executive Gold Director Viola Krebs in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Hey, Eric, thank you so much again. Real quick, what are you most excited about for convention for this 25th anniversary convention coming up? What are you most excited about?
So my very first convention was the 20th anniversary, and that was my first convention. So I'm like, wow, this is like what every convention's like, and everyone. But this will be my 6th convention, and I would just say the atmosphere alone, because magical things happen when you're in an environment with so much energy and support and like-minded individuals. So the power of convention, in my opinion, truly isn't the notes you're going to take and some of the things you're going to learn in your brain. It's the emotional energy and excitement it's going to produce for you to take action. The first 2 weeks after my first convention, I'm not kidding, I had trouble sleeping. I had goosebumps when I would lay down because I was so excited for my future with USANA. So I believe, because there's going to be some great launches. Lori Truman's told us, I'm sure she's told you many of the things that are coming out. We got some great things coming out, but getting to events, the point of them is getting in the energy and excitement and that atmosphere, because you can't help not take action when you just spend all that time and effort and energy getting there. So that's, I think, the true magic of a big event is the atmosphere alone, because you just want to go out and talk to anyone in the vicinity and tell them about USANA. So
yes, thank you so much. Emotional energy. Advanced leaders, you heard it. We'll see you there in about 8 days.
All right. Thank you guys so much. I had a great time. I'll see you guys next week.
All right, everybody. Everybody go ahead and unmute the lines and say thank you, Eric, and have an awesome day.
Thank you, Eric. Have an awesome day.
Thanks, Eric. Have a great day, brother.
Thanks, Eric. Have an awesome day.
You guys, too. I'll see all you in convention next week.